Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell, so every time I drop a video, you'll be first to know about it. So there's a lot of been going on in the news the last few weeks, dealing with Kyrie Irving and Kanye West, about some things that they said about certain people that for some reason you can't mention them. And if not, whether it's good or bad, true or false, or speculation or conspiracy, they will call you I guess, I don't want to, they would say you anti-Semitic. Hell, I say it. Which, again, as stated in previous videos, if you look up the word Semite, you'll see who true Semites are and how these certain people who remain nameless became Semites. Like, it's kind of like the $5 Indians, $5 natives in this country. Then all of a sudden, you don't look like the originals, but somehow you were able to claim that you are certain people for whatever reason. Because you went, took over, and, you know, rewrote history. But there's a question, one of the questions always been, that has been asked, you know, whether it's with Kanye or Kyrie or whoever, is what exactly are people saying that's making them anti-Semitic? If someone does something to bring you down, to try to destroy you, to keep you down, to, you know, cause bodily harm to you, to your family, financial harm, doing something to you as a people because of the color of your skin. You can, let's just say black folk, you can call them like anti-black racists. That's what the term is now, anti-black racism. We've known that with slavery. We got proof of that with Jim Crow, with the redlining, with the housing. You know, so a lot of us unable to be able to get, all of us were not able to get housing. Even now, some black Americans getting houses appraised, the value is hundreds of thousands of dollars lower just because it's a black family living in a house compared to when someone white is showing a house or acting like they own a house. The appraisal value is equal or greater than what the house is actually worth. And these are things that actually happen. These are things that prove anti-black racism. But yet, someone can say that a certain group of people control a lot of the banking, a lot of the real estate, a lot of entertainment. They call you anti-Semitic. They want you to go to some freaking some museum, look at the history, see what they went through, so you can understand where they're coming from. We have a history, you know, but I'll never hear nobody say, hey, we need to bring you to the African American Museum so you can see what we went through. You know, slavery museums, take you to, you know, the slave reports over there in Africa so you can see what we went through, so you can feel what we went through for hundreds of years. You know, where it started and stuff that we're going through now that, you know, slowly we're trying to get out of, but you can see it's still around. The lynchings, you know, things of that nature. Brothers and sisters having prominent neighborhoods and businesses, education, and getting hung and lynched, you know, because of the color of their skin. But not only that, but because they're, you know, living good, living better than them other folk. Business is being burnt down because they got a business, but them other folk don't have business. This is, you know, evidence of anti-black racism. But again, how is it that you are deemed anti-Semitic if you don't harm these other people physically, if you don't have the power to hold them down, you know, financially, keep them in the, you know, keep them in poverty? How are you anti-Semitic? If I can say, man, I'm jealous of them folk because they sit together. They keep their money in they, you know, in their communities, and their money grows, and they help each other. I'm jealous of them. How's that being? And I know the whole DEFCON 3 thing got misunderstood, misinterpreted, whatever the case may be. It is what it is. Came back, say what he had to say about it, move on. Kyrie Irving posted about a movie called From Hebrews to Negroes on Amazon. Go check it out. I'm gonna check it out myself. This movie and book been out for damn near a decade, if not more. Yeah, 15, a little less than a decade. But all of a sudden, because he posted, now he's getting, you know, condemned and chastised, but it's on Amazon. Why these people didn't tell Jeff Bezos, hey man, I'm gonna need you to take this down because this is an anti-Semitic movie, and stop selling this book because it's an anti-Semitic book. They ain't do nothing of the kind, but one of us say something that you don't like, and there's a problem. But again, the question is, why are they so dead set on anything you say about them is anti-Semitic? And I got an answer. The answer is, when you are in power or in control, you control the narrative and you control what people can say or do about you for this, because they know that all it takes is a spark and you can light a flame and burn a whole forest down. They know this. We don't see it in general because we haven't been in that position. But think about it. We're going to go back to this. Matter of fact, I had to look up I did a little digging and I asked the question, why did Adolf Hitler hate them folk? And you look at different little old websites, and some people say, oh, he just hated him just because he hated him. You know, he was evil, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. And I told you in the past video, if you do some research, not just look at one website with propaganda, if you do research multiple sites and books and articles, you'll see the reasons why he felt the way he did. Now, we don't condone what he did at all. What he did was, you know, is worth the death penalty, period. But you have to just understand where his mind was at and why those folk ain't gonna let you say like one little word about it. So this is on History of the Net, and this is gonna be where I'm gonna get this from and say, why did Hitler hate, you know, them people? And they say we have the answers. So they pretty much break it down into points. Here are some factors that may have contributed to his hatred. Religious conflict. You know, conflicts between Christianity and Judaism have existed for years, which partly helped create the atmosphere of anti-Semitism in Europe. Also say he spent part of his youth in Vienna, Austria, where anti-Semitism was very prevalent and high advocated. He may have been influenced by some of the ideology of the environment. He said the economic power of these people. At the time when World War I broke out, a majority of financial institutions, banks, and large companies were controlled by them folk. Hitler blamed the loss of the war, the economic downfall of Germany, and the bad decisions of the Weimar Republic on them folks. Them folks, is that a word? Them folks capitalism. So if you look at that, so even back then, they controlled a lot of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? They controlled a lot of stuff. World War I was lost. Hitler was upset. A lot of German soldiers were upset. Hitler was a soldier in the German army during World War I. They lost, and the powers that be in Germany, the influences in Germany, told them that, hey, we lost this because of these people backstabbed us, so they can get more power and control Germany. So when you got people like that, all you gotta do is find one person that's gonna take that and run with it. As a matter of fact, it said that Hitler was an artist, and he can recall wanting to like buy and sell, I think, sell some paintings, but nobody would buy his paintings. And because them people control the art districts, and they would only, you know, deal with other people for their own ilk, and that may have pissed them off. So when you got somebody who's like, something put in your head like, hey, these people, they control this, control it, they holding you back, they ain't letting you do something. You know, all it takes one to be like, hey, they gotta go. And they found the perfect person in Adolf Hitler. So if I'm one of them people that's like right now controlling the same things, the banks, the real estate, Hollywood, you need to get that book, Empire of Their Own. Talk about how they invented Hollywood. There's also a book called The Invention of Them Folk. That it's called The Invention of the, not them folk, but you know. And it talks about how they, you know, pretty much came in, you know, kind of converted to a certain religion and a certain ideology or belief and took over. And the rest is history. But with that being said, like I say, if you in power, which they are, now how much they don't want you to say it, because they know, look, all it takes is for somebody to say, hey, these people are controlling everything. All it takes is one person to be like, it's not right. We got to get them out of power, because it was done due to World War I, and it's why the Holocaust happened in World War II, and why millions of them were taken out of here, deleted by an insane German dictator because of the status that they had. So this is why they won't let you say a word, because they got to keep it like, hey, don't say that, it's anti-Semitism. And it may not be, but it can turn into it. And that's what they don't want. And that's what you have to learn, you have to figure out about when you're in business, when you are in control of stuff, is that you don't want anybody talking bad about you. Let's say like you in your own house, right? Let's say like you in your own house, and it's like you don't want your kids to sit there and disrespect you. You don't want them to say anything. When they ask a question, and you know you tell them to do something, ask a question, all you want to say is because I said so. Simple as that, and nothing more, nothing less. They can't say a solitary word to you. They don't give a dang if they kissing your butt or trying to talk back to you under their breath. You don't want them to say nothing, right? And that's how these people do. They're just trying to protect what they have, and are not going to let anybody even put a small little morsel of any ideology out there to anybody, because the quote unquote the wrong person here, the wrong person gonna do what they gotta do to take him down. So that being said, got nothing to say about it. All I know is we as a people, like I say, study history. Study your quote unquote so-called enemy, not us. Study your enemy. See how they came in power, how they got to where they got to, because that's the difference between us and them too, is that they studied us. They still study us. They make sure they know us better than we know ourselves. Shout out to Neely Fuller. That's how they can keep us where we at. But we are not going to watch, you know, these supremacist shows, the, what is it called, right wing? These conservative shows, these conservative, we're not going to listen to these conservative blogs, because you're going to say, oh man, them white folk, all they doing, they just talking about us. We don't care about them. Who cares? Okay. And that's why they stay 2 steps ahead of you at all times. That's why you can never catch up, because you're not studying. You have to study. if you're going to master something. So we're going to get the majority of our people out of poverty, get them out the hood. We need to study those who have the power, who have the money and the resources, see how they got it, so we can get it for ourselves. But that's all I got to say about this one, you know. Shout out to Kyrie and even Kanye. Again, Kanye, every day he does something that just, you know, it's hard to hold that brother down. But again, as long as he ain't out here, you know, causing bodily harm, I don't care what you say. You can say retarded, you know, ignorant stuff, and I mean, you are who you are. You still my peoples. I'm gonna ride with you now. If you try to do something that's gonna cause harm to me or put them people on me, then we got something to say. But until then, you know, he just a brother just trying to make it. You know, trying to do his own, trying to figure it out himself. But anyway, with that being said, hey, tell me what you think about the story. Leave the comments below, and then share it with the world. Put it on Twitter, Facebook, whatever social media you have, email, text message, just get the message out there. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.